Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Hey, good morning. It is Friday. We made it through another week. Here we are. So we're going to start with some news, and boy, we got a tough story to start with.
Yes, we do. A 3-car crash in Willard left one of the drivers dead, and it was a 17-year-old girl who lost her life in Willard yesterday afternoon. The other 2 drivers were also both hospitalized. Investigators say what happened is the driver of an SUV pulled out of the Dollar General parking lot on State Highway 66 near AB and into the path of a school bus that was driving west. The collision forced the school bus driver to cross center line, and then he hit that 17-year-old girl head on, killing her. Just tragic situation in Willard. We know that there were no kids on the school bus at the time. They'd already been offloaded. That all happened around 4:30 yesterday.
Man, can't even.
It's terrible.
Fathom what her parents and friends are going through. It's just awful.
Now to this, FEMA is updating flood maps in Greene County. That means some houses that were not included in flood zones in the past may now be. If that's the case, the homeowners will have to get flood insurance. FEMA just released those findings of a study that's been going on for about 8 years. KY3 reports about 160 houses just in the Springfield area have been added into a flood zone, and also about 100 houses have been taken out of a flood zone.
Interesting how that fluctuates over time.
Yeah, they do it over time and study it, and then get better, tracking data with records and rainfalls, and so.
Well, it's interesting too how developments upstream can change where it floods, how it floods, all that sort of thing. St. Louis is having that issue in the I forget where it is, but there's a certain area where they kept building up flood wall type things, which kept that area from flooding, but it caused worse flooding just downstream from that. So it's interesting, or upstream maybe. It's interesting. This is also interesting. Emerald ash borers have struck again, sadly. This time it's at the city parks in Ozark. 24 trees are now being cut down in the Finley River Park and the Gruball Park. The invasive species of insect attacks ash trees to the point that the trees can't be saved, so they have to come down. Finley River Park will be closed Monday as a result of that, and a grant from the Department of Conservation will help cover costs to take out those trees. You may recall back in 2010, the National Park Service cut down more than 1,200 ash trees on the grounds of the St. Louis Arch because of that very insect. The Park Service, we were just there last year, maybe? I think last year. And we went up in the arch, walked around the arch grounds, which are, again, beautiful, because the Park Service replaced the trees they took out with more than double the number of trees that they took out. So
there were a lot of trees. I mean, most of them in their infancy, but they are on the way. So,
but they're growing pretty rapidly. Actually, they look better than I thought they were going to look. Just if
from us
10 years in, 8 years in, something like that. And then there's this. Evangel University's athletic director is leaving the job. Dennis McDonald has been in that position since 2015. His last day is tomorrow, which is weird. It's a Saturday, but it's the same day that the fall semester officially ends. Among the things the university credits McDonald with is moving the school to the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference over the fall and overseeing a rise in grade point average of student athletes, which is important. Evangel is looking now for a new athletic director and is doing a national search to try to find one.
All right. Some Springfield public school students will learn about creating a budget, dealing with taxes, interest on loans, buying insurance, and much more in a new partnership. The district is partnering with 5 banks as well as the Student African American Brotherhood on financial literacy education. So that'll be good information to know for all students coming out of high school, going into college. Honestly, I wish I would have had a financial literacy class.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. It's just the basic life skills. We need a class of basic life skills, balancing a checkbook, which, people don't do anymore, but you still have to balance your accounts and know what you're doing. and dealing with insurance and taxes and all the things you have to do as you become an adult would better prepare all of us as we
Right.
became adults. We had to figure
Let
it
me
out
tell
on
you-
our own.
Let me tell you my favorite Sarah is a moron story. I did not have this class, apparently, on life skills because when I left my alma mater, Oklahoma State University, for my first broadcast job, I was in Sherman, Texas, and I had no electricity for a week. So I moved into an apartment that was about 500 square feet. It was small enough that it didn't have a door. There were no doors. Even the toilet was just around a wall. There was no door. And it was a piece of junk because the floor was saggy. It was just cheap. That's all. But the moral of the story is I had no electricity for a week because I did not know that I had to call the utility company to have them turn on my power.
Oh,
And then I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I don't have any utilities and I have to be on TV tomorrow. I need to straighten my hair, use a hair dryer, those sorts of things. And she was like, you didn't call the utility company? And I was like, no. Do I have to do that? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I thought I just paid the bill. And she's like, no, you have to have them connect service. But what happened is in the university, since I did live in apartments, but they were student apartments. So it was all included in your rent.
so you never had to
Anyway,
do it on your own.
Basic life skills class, including financial literacy. I think it's
Right.
fantastic. Go SPS.
Calling to get the power turned on. It's important.
I just lived without it. I had to live without it for a week because I didn't, they couldn't come out whenever I needed them. So
you figure it out one way or another, but it's nice if you know ahead of time.
yes, I probably won't make that mistake again.
Right.
Is my guess.
Right. Probably. Although I handle that now. So
it's true. Okay. Speaking of finances, come January 1st, Missouri's minimum wage will increase by 30 cents up to $12.30 per hour. Arkansas's will stay the same at $11 per hour. 20 states are still using the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25. It has been that since 2009. Most businesses, though, already voluntarily pay much more than that just to get workers and keep them.
Right.
So, okay, this is a funny story because I almost bought Ethan this and he would not have had it. And now I know why. It was a popular Christmas present, though, a few years back, talking about 23andMe. Do you remember it? The ancestry, DNA type test. Well, they had a problem, a big data breach at 23andMe. 7 million customers' information is compromised. Spokesperson for the company says the impacted data included all the information on ancestry reports, which of course is a lot, including birth years. Whoops.
So everything, basically.
So basically everything.
Your mother's maiden name. They know it all.
Right.
They know it all.
That is a big bummer.
Yeah, that's a lot of very personal
Because
information.
honestly, some of the security questions, for banking and just sensitive websites is your mother's maiden name. You know what I mean? There's just so much that would come with that. But okay. If you are a Starbucks lover, this one's for you. Every Thursday in December, the chain is offering half off drinks. A coupon for a 50% off drink is available to reward members in the app. Also, customers are allowed one discounted drink each Thursday from noon to 6.
How generous of Starbucks. Once a week, they'll give you a deal. Here's a sign of the times. The most read Wikipedia page in 2020. It reminds me of
why you're laughing. I know
Wikipedia story.
I don't know if you should share that or not. You might want to move on.
Okay, I'll think about it. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. Really?
True.
But
we would not want to make light of an issue that some people have major issues with. Anywho,
okay.
Up to you though, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, the most read Wikipedia page in 2023 was ChatGPT. nearly 50 million page views because everybody had to look it up because nobody knows what it is when it started. What's this thing do? What is it? Will it eventually kill me? That was my question I asked Google. Number 2 was deaths, was the search of deaths for some reason. And that had 42.7 million. And number 3, the number 3 read Wikipedia page and searched Wikipedia page in 2023 so far. It was 2023 Cricket World Cup. I would have never guessed that in a million years. I honestly think a million years would have gone by and I wouldn't have guessed Cricket World Cup. Did you know there was such a thing? I mean, I guess there is. Cricket is popular.
I was one of the ones who looked it up. We were talking about cricket.
Not.
Yes, I did, because they were talking about bringing it into an Olympic sport or something at one point. And I was like, what? So then I was looking it up because Kyle was asking me some of these positions. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I was looking up all these ridiculous words from cricket that I'd never heard of in my whole life. Anyway, I was one of the ones.
I think it's similar to baseball. But did you look up the World Cup or just cricket?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe I did. I actually think that I was one of the 40 million. I'm not kidding.
Well, then you're part of the problem because that was number 3. So anyway, that's worthless information.
All right. Are you going to tell them your story?
No, I won't tell. Well, now I feel like I have to because you brought it up again.
Well, go ahead then.
Well, when I was in St. Louis before, this was early, let's see. This is like 2004, maybe 2003. And I played poker with some guys in St. Louis. And one of the guys was talking about Wikipedia. It was this new thing. And, you can go get all this information on Wikipedia. And I was like, oh, wow. And I hadn't moved to Springfield yet, but I had just gotten the job. So I was in the process of moving to Springfield for the job at KY3. And they said, oh, you ought to check it out when you get to your new workplace because it's got a lot of good information on there. I said, all right. They said, it's like an encyclopedia. So I said, oh, cool. I could utilize that as my reporter role. So I get to KY3 and I'm sitting there on my first or second day and, there's nothing to do on your first or second day. So I'm sitting around in the newsroom and I go, oh, yeah, I should look up that website those guys said. So I typed in Wicked Media, which is what I thought they said. And turns out it's not an encyclopedia. It's it's more of an adult nature. And I'm in the newsroom at KY3 with this on my computer. So I'm getting it off my computer. You can't do it fast enough. What happened? What has happened? So then I call my idiot friends and I say, what are you guys are trying to get me fired? This is insane. Why would you tell me that Wicked Media is a website I should look up in the newsroom? And they said, what? I said, Wicked Media. They said, no, it's Wikipedia. And I said, what is it? So that's when I learned that Wikipedia was a word and that the website is not actually Wicked Media. I don't suggest going to Wicked Media.
To that, right.
Especially at work.
Ruin your life and your marriage for sure. So you should not.
Yeah. Do not go there.
Anyway.
Do not go there, especially at work.
So that was day 1 on the job for Ethan.
Pretty much.
Good.
Pretty
much.
much.
Survived to tell about it.
But I survived. I think that was before they had the computer tracking technology to red flag me right off the bat.
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah, that's the story. So whenever I see Wikipedia, it flags that for me in my mind, and Sarah too, apparently. We are just days away from the opening now of the first Buc-ee's in the state of Missouri. The Springfield location along Interstate 44, just east of town there. You've seen it being built for like the last 2 years or something, it seems like. It'll officially open Monday morning, 6 in the a.m. It has 53,000 feet of space for jerky, beaver nuggets, whatever those are, fudge, barbecue, all the road trip treats that people love to buy. Outside, there are 120 gas pumps, so you can't go
for
wrong.
one, am excited to try beaver nuggets.
Yeah, do you know what they are, actually?
No, I don't. I have no clue, but I assume that they are tasty chicken nuggets.
One order of beaver nuggets, please.
Yeah, I'll take one.
We'll try them as a family. We've never been to a Buc-ee's anywhere. I'm a Wally's fan. They have one of those just outside St. Louis. I like the color scheme of Wally's better, I'll be honest with you. And it seems like they have a lot of the same type stuff. ice cream and jerky and a bakery and barbecue and all that stuff. So we'll see how Buc-ee's is.
Ethan and I are probably going on a hot date on Monday, though. I'll tell you that much.
Not on Monday. Too many people over there. Let's give it some time. Let's give it some time.
All right. And every time Ethan says Missouri, I'm just wondering when he's going to announce his political run for something.
Might get me elected.
Politicians live in Missouri. Okay, finally, if you love Christmas cookies, then Buffalo is the place for you to be tonight. It is hosting the first ever downtown cookie crawl. More than 30 local businesses in Buffalo are giving out cookies along the route. Participants pay $5 and get a punch card and then go to all the places to collect cookies. The downtown cookie crawl is from 6 to 8 tonight. Again, that's in Buffalo. And then finally, Christmas is underway, right? The Christmas season, lots of Christmas things happening, the parade and such. Well, how about this one? You can take the whole family to a drive-through live nativity scene. I can't talk. Live nativity scene. It's happening at First Baptist Church in Rogersville this weekend. It is tonight through Sunday night from 6 to 8 at the church there on West Mill Street. Attendees tune in their car radio to a designated station and they can listen to some Christmas music and hear a Christmas message from the church's new pastor.
That's cool.
So
I love it. Yeah,
yes.
That's a great idea. We've been through those before, and
we have with the kids when they were younger, and taught them the story of the nativity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good stuff.
So Rogersville FBC on Mill Street.
And the Springfield Christmas Parade is tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, and I hope the weather is good for them. So we mentioned that yesterday, 2:00.
Is it not going to be?
So I don't know. Did you watch Abby? Because I don't trust you to give us the weather.
She's on after us. So tune into Abby's Wake Up Weather. You'll find out what the weather's going to be.
Yes. Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a great weekend, and we will see you back here.
Yep. Bright and early on Monday.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Friday. We are kicking off with temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning. It's a warm start to the day. Those 60s around yesterday sure were nice. But the trade-off was the wind. Wow, wind advisory yesterday with winds gusting to 40 miles an hour. Not too pleasant to be out in winds gusting up over 30 miles an hour here in the Ozarks. And it's going to be another breezy day, but not nearly as strong as the winds were yesterday. So that's some good news for you. What I'm watching today is the next best chance for rain pushing into the Ozarks for the weekend. Rain in the forecast for the weekend, but it is not looking like a washout. Models have updated this storm system for the weekend a little bit to kind of back off some of the widespread rain showers. We're still going to get some rain, but it's just not going to be as long-lived as it was initially looking, and that rain snow chance is looking less and less likely. High temperatures well above average. Again, today we're talking numbers starting out in the low 50s. We're going to warm into the 60s again easily, even though we have some cloud cover to start the day today on this Friday. Frontal boundary in place up to our northwest, and that's going to result in these rain and thunderstorm chances that take place for us as we head into this afternoon and particularly overnight tonight. I think tonight and tomorrow morning will be the best chance for rain in the Ozarks, but our western counties, you'll likely see some of those rain showers developing as early as this afternoon, pushing into the eastern portions of the Ozarks by late tonight, and then rain chances are going to kind of take over in our forecast. Rain and a few thunderstorms are possible. In terms of severe weather, I don't really think we see severe weather, but thunder and lightning certainly possible in this forecast. We've got that chance developing tonight through early Saturday morning. I mentioned that it's going to start by this afternoon in our far western counties out toward the Kansas state line. And then rain chances are looking much higher by about 8 p.m. tonight. So if you have plans on this Friday night, it's something to keep in mind. Going to check out some Christmas lights. Might not be the best night for that, but it's going to clear up as we head closer to Saturday morning. And for the Springfield Christmas Parade tomorrow at 2 p.m., things are looking much better. In fact, I think most of the area will be dry. It will be cold with a big temperature change, but at least it won't be pouring. That'll be a nice change, won't it? Here's a look at how much rain to expect. And generally, I'm thinking it'll be less than 1/4 of an inch for most everybody. The exceptions here for the weekend may be north of I-44. That's where we could see closer to 1/4 inch of rain to 1/2 inch of rain. Higher totals will be kind of in a band of heavier downpours that develop along the frontal boundary. Weekend rain chances are there, but it's not a washout. And then we have much drier air and chilly air moving in by Sunday. That's when temperatures will fall to the 40s for highs. So today, on this Friday, we're looking at a high temperature of 61 degrees in Springfield. I think we see cloud cover for the first half of the day. By the second half of the afternoon, we're starting to look at those rain chances developing. Those could turn into some thunder chances as we head into the overnight hours tonight, but rain comes to an end on Saturday morning. You'll notice the cool down on Saturday. High temperatures will be in the low 50s and dropping, and then the 40s are back for highs by Sunday. We're at 43 degrees for that high temperature on Sunday. It's going to be sunny and cool by the end of the weekend. Here's a look at the headlines around the country. We have excessive rainfall that we've been talking about up in the Pacific Northwest, some records broken, landslides, terrible things happening up there. Those folks are getting a bit of a break for at least the weekend. And then it looks like the activity could pick up again next week. Cold and unsettled weather in the forecast for the Intermountain West and the plains for the weekend. And then these well above average temperatures that we had around yesterday in the Springfield area, those are taking place down in portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. It's a heat wave with temperatures getting close to record highs for many in the region. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question for the day. And here it is. According to the classic phrase, what killed the cat? The key word here was classic. Did you know this? I think we all know curiosity killed the cat. However, that's not the original phrase. As it first came out, it was care killed the cat. If you chose B, care, congratulations. You are now entered to win that $20 gift card to Scooters Coffee. Thank you to our sponsor, Scooters. You just made somebody's morning if you guessed B, care. That's the answer to the Brain Twister today. All right, I'll leave you with the Brain Twister question that we will answer for you on Monday morning. Phreagophobia is also known as cryophobia. It is the fear of what? Do you think it is A, snow, B, ice, C, coldness or extreme cold, or D, refrigerators? Let me know what you think. You can take your guess. That happens over at aroundtheozarks.com. There you can also find a detailed up-to-the-minute forecast all day long and all weekend long. And while you're on the website, do not forget, enter the 12 days of giveaways by Around the Ozarks. Awesome prizes there. Restaurants, tickets, Chief jersey. There's just a ton of great prizes. So check it out. Head on over to the website. It is free to enter. And if you share on social media, it is an extra entry. Thanks so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather this morning. I am meteorologist Abby Dyer. If you like the podcast, please review it on wherever you're listening this morning, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Let us know what you think. And you can always email me, Abby at aroundtheozarks.com for any feedback. Thanks so much and have a fantastic weekend.